If you want to know the tea on how my Belize trip went, keep on watching. Hey y'all, it's your girl Pound Cake, and I'm coming to you today with a Belize wrap-up video. I'm gonna go over the entry, exit requirements, how I felt about it, how shit really went down. You notice these. Now, if you haven't watched my Belize vlogs, I'll go ahead and link that here with the cards for that playlist so that you can catch up on what I'm about to give you the feedback and why I feel the way I feel. Now, yeah, I know I've kind of been doing a lot of traveling here and there, and one of my stops, of course, was in Belize. And yeah, I wanted to kind of share you guys my experience. Now, of course, we're gonna do how we always do. We're gonna start off on before you arrive. And as far as like any visas or any of that, you don't need it. So you don't have to do any visas and none of that. They're actually one of the few countries that still kind of do your declaration old school. Like, make sure you bring a pen because you have to do it on the plane, and then of course when you go to customs they take care of that. But sticking to the before the trip, you don't need any pre-documents as far as before you get there. Of course you need your passport, so wherever country you're coming from you have to have your passport. Other than that, you need nothing else. Now, Belize is one of the few countries that they speak English, y'all, like fluent English, and they have like almost like a patois type of twang. And I don't want to offend anybody, but to me it sounds like a Caribbean accent. Even though they're in Central America, it's almost kind of gives like Caribbean type shit, like, you know what I mean? So you don't have to have a translator if you are fluent in English, because you are good to go. Now, they also take US cash, and that's a good thing as well. So if you're coming from US, then they do take our American dollars. You don't have to convert. If you are a country junkie like me and you want to have currency from each country you visit, of course you can go ahead and exchange that. But I did not need to do any conversion of currency. However, I forgot to get cash before I even left. So I ended up going to one of their ATMs, and the ATM was really expensive. Like, they charged me, I think, like $11 to get $300 out. So do with that information what you will. And the only reason why I went to the ATM was because I didn't have any cash. And give me any US dollars, they gave me Belizean money, which is how I ended up with Belizean money altogether. That's pretty much it for before you arrive. Now, I will recommend bring you some bug repellent, mosquito repellent, because the mosquitoes are vicious. Not as vicious as Bali, but they're vicious. And again, they're really small, not like the ones we have in America. So be mindful of that. I would definitely make sure you pack some sunscreen, pack some bug repellent for sure, okay? And what else? Some chapstick, because it's so hot there. Like, when I say it's hot, it is hot. Oh my God, it was so hot. And what else what do you need before? I think that's pretty much it as far as what you have. And of course, your usual day-to-day, you know, things that you'll be needing to travel. I took my favorite Walmart tee with replica slides. That's all I had. That's all I needed. So when you book your flight, so my flight, I took a direct flight with Alaska from LA to Belize. I want to say it was maybe like 5 hours from LA to Belize. You're going to land in Belize City, and that is where I stayed. Now, before I booked this trip, I didn't really do too much research on it. I just kind of was looking at different things to do, what to do, how to do it, etc. I didn't really like dive into it like I normally do for big trips. I'm like, oh, Central America, it should be the same. Where was I wrong? When I say I was wrong, I was motherfucking wrong. And the reason I say that is because I booked my accommodations on booking.com, which is my favorite. I know I use booking.com and I use Agoda. There's no secrets or, you know, no plugs. Those are the two that I use. And as you continue to book with them, you get a lot of like discounts and things like that. So the room I got for 7 days. So I got from Saturday to Saturday. So what's that, like 7 days? And for the whole time I got this room, I paid $500. Like, it was maybe like $503 total for that duration of my stay. I thought that was a great deal. The pictures look great online, and I'm gonna get back to that in a moment. The pictures look great online, and it was in Belize City, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now, when I booked this room, it said that it was a sea view room And it had like these pictures, and it was like really, really nice. And I'm like, oh, we own, this is what I'm doing. Like, I'm excited. Like, yeah, like I can't wait to be on the beach frolicking. I mean, if it's sea view, I'm gonna have a good view of the sea. Like, I'm gonna be on the beach every day. That was my plan, right? So I'm like excited. So I booked my shit, and that was that. So of course I get to Belize. I go through, I fill out the declaration, we go through customs. Customs probably took maybe 40 minutes to get through, and that's from the plane to customs. And it's not a super big airport. The airport is really small. So it's not like you're having to travel and walk through all, no. You get off the plane, and it's also gonna be president style where you walk down the plane, like down the flight of stairs, you know, like there's no gangway. So you walk off the plane and you literally on the tarmac, and then you walk into the building and then you're in line. So super quick. You know, they have, of course, 2 separate lines for foreigners and for residents. So, you know, you stand in the foreigners line. Don't be caught in that resident line trying to cheat because it's short. They're going to send your ass to the back. So be mindful of that. But aside from that, yeah, it took about 40 minutes to get through there. Now, I had a little trouble at customs because I didn't put something correct. And they do like day, month, year. And of course, you know, mostly in America, we do month, day, year. So the way I wrote it, the guy, mind you, was hella attractive. And he was like, ma'am, you did put the right date. I'm like, yes, I did. He's like, there's no such date as 13. And I was like, no, what? I think I put 2, because I went February the 10th through the 17th. And so I had put like 2/17/2024. He was like, there's no such month as the 17th month. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that's the day I'm leaving because you put the day you come leaving. He said, no, you put it wrong. Go back to, he said, go stand over there and fix it. I'm like, huh? So I fix it and I come back and he was like, ma'am, he's like, you scratched it out, you need a new form. I'm like, why are you giving me such a hard time? I don't understand this. So I was like, fuck that, you got a bad attitude, and I went to someone else. And they took it, no problem. No problem. She was like, oh yeah, you're good, go ahead, let's go, bounce, move. Welcome to Belize. And I got on, and then I walked past him and I gave him like a little snarky look, because like, why are you giving me a hard time for a document you're not even collecting? Like, why? Like, why do that? Hate that. So anyway, that was my first issue. And then when I get there, the rest of the airport experience was not too bad until I got outside, but I'll tell you about that as well. So once you get to the airport, again, it's a really, really small airport. You go out, there's like duty free, and that's like the only thing they have here is duty free. And then you have to go and put your luggage through the like TSA stuff again. I don't know why countries do that. Like, I think that is so inconvenient. So you go through TSA, you get your stuff, and then you go through TSA again, and you know, they go through your luggage or see what you have or what you can't have, whatever. So they go through that, everything is fine. I leave, I go outside, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even arrange a ride for me. Like, I hate when I do that, because sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. But I've been traveling so much, y'all, I don't be knowing what I do and what I don't. Like, it's just been hectic. So after this Dominican, because right now I'm in Dominican Republic. After this trip, I have one more trip, and then I'm taking a break because I think I told y'all I'm moving in some more shit. So yeah, but I just kind of been coming and going. I don't know what is what. And I'm really sharper than that, but just all this other stuff that's going on kind of got me off my game low key, but that's stuff you're here for. You're not here for that. You're here for this Belize wrap up. So let me give it to you. So anyway, I go outside, and it's very humid outside, and I'm like, fuck, it's hot. You feel me? I'm like, it's a little toasty out here. And y'all know I don't travel with my little sweater. I have this like really thin sweater. I always travel with it. It's my favorite thing. So I had that on. It's gray, so it was giving pit stains because I was sweating. I'm just like, oh well, we're here, whatever it is. And I get outside and I'm like, oh fuck. And you know, whatever in other countries, people are always hounding you for taxis and stuff like that. So I had to fall victim to that because I didn't already pre-schedule a ride for myself. So this man comes outside, he's like, do you need a taxi? I'm like, I do actually. And mind you, my hotel was less than 2 miles from the airport. Keep that in mind as far as distance. Less than 2 miles from the airport. And I'm like, oh, how much to take me to, I gave him the address. He tells me $30. I'm like, 30 Belizean dollars? Because the conversion is 1 American US dollar is 2 Belizean dollars, right? So I'm thinking, okay, if it's $30, is that 15 American dollars? Because I'll pay it, right? I'm gonna respect you, your culture, and your customs, and if you're gonna charge me 30 Belizean dollars, just 15 my dollars, we're good. And he was like, no, it's 30 American dollars. So I put it in the location and maps, and I'm like, okay, look, how far is this? It was like 1.89 miles from the airport. I'm like, are you kidding me? However, it's the travel day. I'm tired. I'm like, you know what? Fine. I'll just pay this money and then I'm going to get there and then we'll figure it out from there. So I paid the people. I used my credit card because I'm not, again, I don't have cash. So I used my American Express and it said like, it was like a fee because I'm using my car. So it came out to like 65 Belizean dollars. So that was like, what is that? 32.50 American dollars. Very ghetto. So, sorry, that's my phone. I don't know who's hitting me up. So yeah, so I paid. I'm like, whatever. So mind you, whenever I get a taxi or I'm getting a ride in whatever country I'm in, I'm riding in something like this, something nice, like something with a little bit of. And I'm not saying they pick me up in a Bentley, you know what I'm saying, a Tahoe, a Suburban. You feel me? Like, I'm not expecting that, but it's always a fairly up-to-date recent car with amenities like AC. You could ride comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, okay, cool. So the guy was like, the lady was like, oh, can you wait 10 minutes before the driver gets here? I'm like, oh, so I gotta pay you all this money and I gotta wait? Okay, whatever, I'll wait 10 minutes. So this car pulls up. It had to be like a 94 Lincoln. And it wasn't even a Continental or a town car. I don't know how Lincoln this shit was, but it was old as hell. Like real old. Seats was ripping up the whole nine. Again, I'm not expecting nobody's culture. It is what it is. I'm just saying, it's not what I'm used to. Even when I'm in third world countries like Thailand, Bali, they still came with something decent. Like whether it was like a version of a Highlander or a van, they had amenities. It was AC, they was offering me water, and I ain't pay a fraction. I paid a fraction of what they're charging me for this car. So here we are. So the guy pulled up in his Lincoln, I get in his Lincoln, and the guy is really big. He reminds me of the dad from Bebe's Kids. Like, that's who he reminds me of. And he wasn't that fresh as far as, you know what I'm saying, body odor wasn't giving that fresh. But again, whatever, just get me to where I'm going. So I get in, it's this little old driving Miss Daisy in the back. Some like older like white lady. She had to be like 80. Super sweet, super nice, she's adorbs. And she's in the car too. And I'm like, how much they charge you? She's like $30. I'm like, we could have split that. Like, they making money and they're not putting it back to the business because why is this car not having AC? And you sweating, we're finna be sweating. The seats are already sweating because they're peeling. Like, it was giving very much ghetto. So he was saying that it was a shared ride and that he's dropping her off first because she's going to the ferry because she's going to the island. Keep this in mind, the island. Now I'm staying in Belize City where the airport is. This lady's going to the island. So he's like, I took to the water taxi. He's like, we're gonna go to the water taxi first because she has to be there by 5:30. And it was like 5:05 at this point. I was like, oh, do what you gotta do. I'm in no rush for real. Like, I don't plan on doing anything today but getting food and going about my day. So he knows I don't have cash. I told him I don't have cash, so he wasn't getting a tip. But I'm like, and I'm a tipper. I like to tip. I like to, you know, that's the economy. I like to, you know, do my part. And I understand it's like, it's a service. So I'm gonna pay you for your service. Even though I already overpaid for this, I'm gonna give you $3, $5. You know what I'm saying? Just because, like, you're providing a service for me. I like to tip. That's just me. So we drop her off. After we drop her off at the water taxi, he wants to go get gas. So we go to the gas station. I tell him I don't have no cash. And so he was like, oh, I'll take you to the bank to get you some cash. I'm just like, okay. So I go to the bank. I get money out, but I act like I didn't get money out. Like my bank was giving me a problem. Because I wasn't giving him anything because I didn't like his attitude. He gave me a little attitude. It was a little snarky. And he stunk. And I didn't like that. So, you know. I was like, it's not working out. I have to call my bank and see what's going on. But that's fine. He was in my room. So he was like, all right. So he got a little mild attitude about me not getting cash out. I don't care. So I'm like, whatever. I'm like, we're going to the beach. I'm about to get dropped off in my room, oceanfront room. It's lit. It's going down. I'm excited. So he's driving around. He was like, we're like 5 minutes from your room. Now, mind you, we're in like the local city, so, and everything looked a little dusty. So I'm like, what do you mean 5 minutes from my room? I'm like, I know it's close, but I don't see, like, where the ocean at? Like, where's that? He was like, oh, it's not really an ocean, it's a sea. What you mean? He was like, it's like a little like pocket of water, like nobody gets in it. What? What you mean nobody gets in it? Huh? So I'm like in the car puzzled because I'm like, you know what I'm saying, I purchased the sea view room. And he was like, no, it's a sea view, but you can't get in the water like you just gonna be able to look at the water. So I'm like, so mind you, I'm in this raggedy ass front seat, pissed. Of course, no fault of his, because he had nothing to do with me booking this room. You know what I mean? And again, that's my fault because I did not really look into like the different areas in Belize, like the different cities, the islands, the things like that, because I should have my ass on the island. That's really the end of it. But anyway, back to this. So we get to this area, a very affluent area. It looks like people who have money stay here. All the homes are super big, super nice. And I'm like, okay, cool, this must be where I'm going. But not cool because where the fuck is the ocean? Like, why am I not by the ocean? Like, I like to frolic in the water and be scantily clad in my ensemble. And I don't want to be hanging in nobody's community. Don't want to do it. But I digress. So we pull up to this house. I feel like I'm the Fresh Prince. It was Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds where I spend most of my days because the place reminded me of the house from Fresh Prince. And I was just like, okay. So this man pull up that link in front of this house. Now the house has so much potential. It's so big, so nice, a lot of amenities. I get out the car. The man don't even get out the car and give me my luggage because he's upset. He's like, oh, your luggage is in the back seat. I was like, oh, okay. Got it. All right. So I get my luggage and he like pulls out. I know you're not mad and you overcharged me for this goddamn ride. Like, let's call a spade a spade. Like, cut it out. You know what I mean? But anyway, so he pulls off and I walk to the steps and this lady greets me. Very beautiful lady. She's of course Belizean. And yeah, so she opens the door. She's like, welcome. We go to the office. My room is already paid for, so I have nothing further to pay for. I just need to just go in there, I guess, get my key and what has. So I'm kind of feeling away because again, this is not what I expected and what I imagined as far as my vacation to go. So it's already at a deficit because this is maybe, I was expecting a beach house or something. It just give me like Airbnb style, and I don't do Airbnbs. I do like hotels or resorts or villas. I've never stayed in an Airbnb, and I'm just like, this is your house? Like, you live here? She's like, yeah, on the 2nd floor, but you'll be on the 3rd floor. Girl, 3rd floor? Do you have an elevator? She said no. So the 3rd floor is 6 flights of steps, because you know it takes 2 flights per floor, right? Up, cross, up. 2nd floor, up, cross, up. Like, you know what I'm saying? So ground, 1st, 2nd, 3rd. I'm on the 3rd floor. And I'm just like, oh, okay. She's like, yeah, our sea view room was on the 3rd floor because it's the highest room up and you can see the sea. Bitch, cut the linguistics out. So be mindful when you're booking things to do your homework. And I'm normally good at this and I normally do these things, but I was booking so many trips back to back to back to back to back because I want to get the fuck out of here that I didn't do my due deal. Like, I didn't do my due diligence at all, and that showed when I was in Belize. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. She's like, here's your room key, you know, go to the room. Here's the list of like restaurants you can order from. Now keep in mind, I'm in the city of Belize. I'm in Belize City, and this is where like the locals stay. There's really no tourists here in Belize City. And again, I'm like in the suburbs, like this affluent neighborhood. So there's nothing really where I am. I wasn't even like in downtown. Apparently I'm across the bridge. That's everybody was like, damn, you way across the bridge. So yeah. Now I'm in this inconvenient area and I have to find restaurants that have delivery so that I can eat. Do you know I didn't even eat for like my whole first day because nobody was open or delivering anything. So I didn't eat till the next day. And I knew I was gonna stay inside Saturday because I got in late. And then Sunday happened to be Super Bowl. And I was like, well, I wanna go to the game. I wanna watch the game, so I'm gonna stay in as well. And we'll start our adventures on Monday. That was the plan. So when I get to the room, of course on the 3rd floor, so I'm taking my luggage. And I only take a carry-on bag because I only do carry-on and a backpack when I'm not checking a bag in, when I'm really going to be wearing bathing suits, or I plan on just only wearing bathing suits and not putting on no real outfits. You feel me? Or I'm bringing like little light dresses real quick. Something light, you know, shit like that. So I don't need to bring no big suitcase. As long as it has my makeup, my toiletries, we good, you know? So I'll go upstairs to the 3rd floor. Now when I'm in this building, the building looked real like old and ran down, like one of those like motels people live in, like downtown. Like if you live like downtown, they got them hotels that turn like into like places people live. Hallways look a little suspicious. Like it just didn't give me like up to par, like up to my normal standards. So I'm already like, okay, this is pissing me off that fast. But whatever, I digress. So I get to my floor, there's like writing on the door, and she's like fighting to open the door. It's making this crazy sound. I'm like, girl, is it working? And she's like, well, the door is broken, but there's another room on my floor. But she's like, no one's gonna be here but you the whole time that you're staying here. She's like, but the door doesn't close. Huh? What you mean the door don't close? And she was like, yeah, it's broken. I'm gonna have the maintenance man come fix it as well. And I'm just like, okay. So you mean to tell me I'm in this fucking haunted mansion, bitch, and my door don't fucking close? How am I supposed to sleep at night? Feeling secure, feeling like that's gonna happen to me. Now, mind you, you know I'm a fucking thug ass bitch, so I don't have no problems with none of that type of shit. But I don't understand how you feel like that's okay. But I digress. Whatever. I can take a nap. I'm tired. I've been traveling. I want to take a shower and a nap. So there's some tapestry in this room, which I think you guys saw, that I hated. I thought it was very ugly. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought she should have thrown that shit in the trash and threw up just some regular white, because it has really, the place has so much potential, but I feel like she's not reinvesting into this place, because why does it look like this? Like, bitch, you live in a fucking castle, you Disney princess. Like, you live in this castle and the shit is raggedy, like raggedy. Now my room was big as hell, hella spacious. I mean, huge. There was a big king size bed in there. There was a desk, a table, some raggedy ass amenities that I didn't really too much care for. It had like a fridge and a microwave, which I didn't use because, bitch, I don't know what's in that microwave. Like, I'm not doing that. Bathroom was nice size, really nice. I love the natural light of the door if it worked, right? So it has so much like potential, but like I said, she's not reinvesting into her business. She's just trying to make money on a side hustle. And I think there was a man who lived on the first floor. I think he was like a resident, like he rented that place out because he was there playing music. He had people over for the Super Bowl. Like, it was just a lot. So anyway, not only did my door not close, because I was getting sidetracked, not only did my door not close, but why the fuck was a tapestry on the ground? So she was like, oh, my last tenant broke the curtains, so I can't, so mind you, my door don't even close. However, I can't even, there's no privacy for me. Like, I can't close the blinds or close these nasty ass curtains so that no one can see inside while I'm getting dressed, or if I'm taking a shower, or if I'm laying down sleep, whatever the case may be. People gonna just look right in my room. How is that okay? Like, and mind you, the windows are not even tinted. It's not even giving tinted windows where I can see but they can't see. Oh, no. You can see right in my room, like right in my room. So there's another room on the other side of where I was, and then next to my room was like the utility closet where people, like, I guess the housekeeper will like store all her like cleaning supplies and detergent and shit like that. So I'm just like, girl, at this point I'm just frustrated, wanting to cry. Like, I wanted to just sit in this nasty ass room and cry. Now, again, the room didn't give me nasty, but just some of the things that she says, like some of her context clues kind of gave me like, because what you mean the last tenant broke the curtains and you haven't fixed it yet? So did they leave this morning? Was this bedding washed? You feel me? Like, that calls for concern. So now I feel like I'm laying in somebody else's fucking skin cells, because why the fuck would you tell me some shit like that? And how come this hasn't been fixed? So then I come to find out that she's a whole fucking liar. And we'll get into that too as well in a bit. This is probably the longest fucking wrap-up video I probably ever made, because Belize did a number on me and that's just what it was. Not even gonna hold you. Hopefully my camera don't get hot because I got this Sony, and I actually want to go back to Canada. That's a hell of a story as well. But yeah, let me get to the next. What's next? So anyway, yeah. So I'm like, okay, this is ghetto. So I'm sitting here in my bed, and I don't get under the covers at all. I'm really not an undercover girl. Listen, at home, I do not be getting under these covers. I don't know, there's something about it just don't sit right with me. I kind of just lay on top of the bed and go to bed and then get up, shower, do it all over again. I'm just not really an under the cover type of bitch. Like, where I'm at right now, I slept here and the bed's still made up. They'll be like, was you even here? I was. Exactly. So anyway, so that was that. So I stayed there for 2 days because I was just, I'm in the city. It's expensive. Coming to find out, Belize is very expensive. It's an expensive place, okay? My flight was inexpensive. I think I paid like $280 for my flight, direct flight, loved it. And then my room was $500, but for 7 days, that's a really good deal, right? However, I ended up spending an additional $300. Listen, I'm probably gonna be all over the place with this shit, but I want to give y'all the ins and outs. I want to give y'all the real raw, like my real raw opinion of this place. And this is no disrespect to Belize, like at all. Like, thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm a little bit enjoyed it, but I made it out. Okay, I'm gonna just say that I made it out. And again, I'm a solo traveler. It's coming from my perspective as a solo traveler. Keep that in mind. So I'm in this nasty ass place. I want to cry because I'm just like, oh my God, like this is disgusting. I do not live like this. This is not how I travel. Like I'm a bad bitch and I do bad bitch things. And now I'm like, this is like the definition of bad. Like, you know, like it's probably like the worst accommodations I've ever had, you know, on any of my trips. For that anyway, so much sit right with me. But again, whatever. So anyway, so I called one of my friends and I'm talking to them and I'm fucking balling. I'm crying at this point. Like, I'm about to book a flight back home. Fuck this place. They got me fucked up. I'm not doing it. Like, this is raggedy as fuck. I'm gonna dispute this charge in my bank and be like, I didn't do this. I don't know where it came from. I was ready to do it in. But then I was like, you know what, Dominique, you tough. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can do this. Like, don't let this trip do that to you. Like, you know you're never coming back here again. Because in my head, I knew I was never coming back here again. So I might as well just make the most out of it since I'm going to be here. Again, this is a 7-day trip, right? So Saturday night, went to bed, woke up Sunday. Sunday, I chilled, watched the game. I finally got some food. I ordered like some pizza or some Chinese food. I don't know, it was disgusting. Hated it. Made no film. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, Belize, nope, nope, and nope. Again, I only can order food that had delivery because of where I was at, and there was no way for me to walk anywhere because I was like more so isolated in this affluent community. So keep that in mind. It brings us to Monday, right? So Saturday, Sunday, we're on Monday. And I was like, I'm gonna get dressed. I'm gonna figure out what to do because I made up in my mind that I'm going to San Pedro on Tuesday for the rest of my trip. And San Pedro is an island in Belize, which is where I should have been from the jump, okay? But I was like, I'm gonna go to San Pedro tomorrow, so I want to make the most of tonight. I don't wanna waste a day. So I was like, oh, there's this hookah lounge called Shisha 8. And I was like, well, I wanna go. I looked online, they were open till midnight. It should be a good time. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I look online to find like a taxi to get me there. And I called some guy, he had like 5-star reviews. And I was like, hey, you know, how much take me to so-and-so? He said $25. I'm like, is that round trip? And he said, of course. I said, all right, cool. Let's do it. Pick me up in 30 minutes. I gave him the address. He said, call me back. He's supposed to give me at 5:30. He said, call me at 5:20 and then, you know, give me the directions. I'm like, okay. So my job was like, fuck all that. I went ahead and sent him the address. Cause I'm like, just put in your fucking, like, come on, you're a taxi man. Like, you got 5 stars. Like, you should know how to do this. So I called him at 5:20 and he's like, where are you? I told him, he was like, I don't know where that's at. Give me directions. I'm like, directions? Nigga, you stay here. You told me that you knew every piece of Belize City and you stay here. Why are you asking me, a tourist, for directions? I said, sir, I don't live here. I couldn't tell you how to get to and from. I'm like, all I know is that I am on, what's the street called? Driftwood Bay. I'm like, all I know is I'm on Driftwood Bay. That's all I can tell you. And he was like, oh, no. Find somebody who can, you know, give you the directions. Find somebody? Why I gotta find somebody? I found you. If you didn't know where to stay, why you just didn't tell me where to call someone else? You feel me? So fuck all that. I'm like, whatever. So I'm like looking around for people. The lady's gone. The guy who lives there, he's not there. So no one's at this big fucking mansion but me. So I walk outside and I call him. I'm like, there's a highway. He's like, walk to the highway. The highway is half a mile from where I'm at. I'm walking in this neighborhood a half a mile with my little green dress on, my little glasses, looking like a real tourist, you feel me? And so I'm walking down and I'm just like, bro, I don't know where I'm at. Cause there's like no names of streets here. Like I didn't see a name on the street. Like it didn't say like Crenshaw or Rosecrans or Colorado. Like it didn't say nothing. I'm literally just walking around this neighborhood with no street signs. So he was like, well, find somebody to tell them to give you directions. I'm like, bro, I'm not flagging nobody down. I already feel like a prostitute because I'm waiting on this highway corner in this fucking dress, looking like I'm like finna put myself for sale. So this guy in this cable truck drives up, really handsome guy. And I flag him down. I'm like, excuse me, I'm sorry to bother you, but I'm trying to get a taxi here. The guy doesn't know where it is. I'm not from here. He's like, oh yeah, no problem. He takes the phone, he talks to the guy, he tells him where he's at. He's like, oh, I'm by Highway 71, right by the bridge, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. She has on a green blouse, this, and that. He's like, should we be standing outside? And so the guy gives me the phone back, and he was like, oh, you way on the other side of town. Nigga, I don't know where the fuck I'm at, but you said $25? I'm giving you $25, right? So he's like, all right, I'll be there in 15 minutes. 15 minutes? Whatever. All right, whatever. As long as you know where you at, that's fine. So he's driving, he pulls up 15 minutes in this Honda Odyssey, missing a tail light. One of the headlights was busted out. Like, I'm like, what's the requirements to have a taxi out here and pick people up and shit? Like, can anybody put this up in the phone book and be like, I'm a taxi and go from there? Because the quality of cars that are picking people up in these taxis are just beyond me. Like Uber, Lyft, they would not go for none of this type shit. But I digress. So he picks me up and I get in the car. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, how you tell me you know where you at and then you don't know where you at? Like, I understand. He's like, oh, hey, beautiful. No, fuck all that. Nigga, why did I have to walk to the highway? I'm sweating. It's hot. And he was like, oh, I'm not familiar with over here. This is where the money at, blah, 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 blah. Why are you staying over here? Like, no one stays here. And I'm just like, well, yeah, I know that now. I haven't been here, so I don't know how that works. So anyway, fast forward. We go to Shisha House. We get there. They're closed. Even though Google says loud and clear that them bitches is open. They're fucking closed. At this point, I'm livid because I'm paying $25. I had to walk in that fucking humidity, and the humidity was giving 100% humidity. It was so damn hot. Y'all see I got cooked. Like, my lips are even tan. They was black as fuck. Like, it was so hot. So we get there, they're closed. So now I'm out $25 because I still have to pay this man because he brought me here, right? So I get there, they're closed. He's walking around. He was like, they closed this Monday. Bitch, it says they're open online. What you mean I'm not from here? I don't understand. So he's walking around, asking people, they was like, no, they closed. Don't open up till Wednesday. Well, that's not what it says online. It says that it's open. So anyway, the man used that as an opportunity to hang out with me. So I was like, well, just take me to get some food and then take back to my hotel. I'm just gonna lay it out, watch my TV on my laptop, whatever. He's like, no, I'll give you a tour, you can hang out with me. Bitch, I don't wanna hang out. Well, apparently I had no choice because I hung out. Now again, this was at 5. I said he got me at 6 o'clock because he's supposed to get me at 5:30, but I had to walk. He said give him 15 minutes, so we're gonna say 6 o'clock. I didn't get back to my room till like 10:30 p.m. This man took me all around Belize City. We went to pick up other people who needed a taxi. We did that. We went to his homie's house. He took me to all his friends' house. Like, oh, this is my friend. She's from California. Isn't she beautiful? We going through the ghetto. There was gunshots. We're having drinks at the liquor store. We hanging out in the neighborhood. Like, it was an experience. Like, the man damn near held me hostage. And I asked 20 times, take me back to where I wanted to go. But he went ahead and decided that he did what he wanted to do. He was like, what you gotta do? You just gonna go hang out? It's closed. Hang out with me. Bitch, I don't wanna hang out with you. I want to go back to my room and lay down. I hate this place. I hate it. Oh, I hated it so bad. And he just really held me hostage. Like, we're really just hanging out. And I'm just in the front seat like, unhand me, please. Like, unleash me, sir. Take me back to where I'm going. So we're riding around against my will at this point because I've been ready to go. But not at one point did I feel unsafe or scared. And I don't know if maybe that's just me, but I never felt like that was an issue. I mean, it was an issue because he didn't do what I requested him to do. But at the same time, like I said, I wasn't ever like scared or anything. I was like, oh my God, something's gonna happen to me because I put up a fight. Listen here, we're gonna tussle. You know what I mean? But that's that. So I get back to my room finally. I was able to get something to eat, and then I laid it out. Woke up the next day, and I went to San Pedro, which is where you need to be. If you are going to plan a trip to Belize, either San Pedro or Cape Cocker is where you need to be. Stay your ass out of Belize City. Let Belize City be a pass-through, like literally get off the plane to get to the water taxi to go to where you really need to be. Don't stay your ass in Belize City. It's nothing for you to do there. All the rides are hella expensive to go nowhere. All the cars is dusty. It's just giving third world, and I hated it. Like, shine. What are we doing here, sir? Get your neighborhood together. Like, you a politician now. Like, work on fixing this shit up. because I hated it. And they have a bus system, but that shit look like it's giving civil rights movement bus. Like the bus Rosa Parks was sitting on is what it looked like for real. Like I ain't even gonna hold you. Like that place is stuck in the 70s, the 60s for real. Cause why the fuck is this shit looking like that? Like that shit, it blew me. Like I looked out of place. Like I looked like that was like some old times and I'm in today's time. Like it's giving Back to the Future type shit. Hated it. Let's go outside. But yeah, so that was that. Belize City was a thumbs down for me. And again, that's from a tourist perspective, a solo tourist perspective as well. It's a moving on. So Tuesday, I got up, got dressed, packed my bag, because I was like, I'm getting the fuck up out of here. Now again, the room was paid for, but I wasn't staying in that room not another night, except for the last night that I was gonna be in Belize. I was like, fuck that, I'm out of there. So from Tuesday to Friday, I was in San Pedro. Now, I took the water taxi. For a round trip water taxi, it was like $57, and that's round trip. So it'll take you there, and then you come back within 90 days. So I paid that, sat down, waited for the taxi to come. Taxi came. Now you can do the ferry, which is what I chose, and I did the Belizean Express ferry. They have like two different ones. They have like a smaller one, and then you have the bigger one. I chose the bigger one. Or you can take a private like helicopter, but it's not like luxury type shit. It's like some ghetto ass. Yeah. So I took the ferry. It was actually a really nice ride. Super cool, hella windy. I had to throw my bonnet on because the hair was every which way. So I threw my bonnet on. I'm on the top deck. The breeze felt so good. It just felt, it was a nice ride. I'm gonna just say that it was a nice ride. And yeah, so in about an hour, 30 minutes, I'm in San Pedro, where I should have been the entire time. The water is beautiful and blue. And it's like a really small island. There's very few cars there. They really kind of get around on motorbike, of course, and golf carts. That's how they get around. So I spent another like 300 and some change. I want to say it was like 350 maybe, for Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. Yeah, so for 3 nights, I spent about like 350 to stay. And I stayed at this place called the Lina, over the water villa. And I stayed there, and it was nice, right? Again, it wasn't my standard. It was a lot smaller. It was a super small room. The decor kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit, and there's like a brown bed, like cover. It was cool. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst either. It was fine. It was satisfied. I was satisfied, right? But the balcony opened up, you're right on top of the water. Like, it was really nice. They had like a little area you could hang out. It was nice. The food was good. The drinks were good. The people were really nice. I enjoyed it. So that's where I stayed. Again, everything will be in the description bar as well, even that fucking Fresh Prince Mansion as well. Uncle Phil house will be down there too. So yeah, so I knew on Wednesday I wanted to go. Wednesday happened to be Valentine's Day. And I knew I wanted to go to Secret Beach. Now, Secret Beach, I'm sure if you hear about Belize, you'll hear about Secret Beach. And Secret Beach is where I ended up going. It's about maybe like 45-50 minutes outside of like San Pedro, but you have to get there via golf cart. It's probably the cheapest way to go. And I rented the golf cart for just one day. It was like $65 because that's how like you get to this place. So I rode out to Secret Beach, and it was fun. It was an experience. I had a really good time at Secret Beach. Now there's separate, like different little restaurants you can go to, and the one I ended up at, I enjoyed it. It was cool, it was nice. The food was good, the drinks were good, and I had a really good time. I vibed out, it was really nice. And the worker was trying to take me out on a date for Valentine's Day, and I was like, okay, cool. And then when he walked up to my car, he tried to kiss me, and I was like, oh, bitch, that's it, we're done. No more, no more, no more. But if you're gonna go, Secret Beach, 10 out of 10, a good time. Again, there's several restaurants along this like shoreline. So whichever one you pick, I'm sure they'll all be a good time. I went to the one that had like tables in the water, like little mats, had like a basketball court, volleyball. Like, it was a nice time. Like, it just felt real tranquil. And I'm like, this is where I should have been the whole time. I can come here every day. So, Secret Beach, put that on your list. Now, I went back to my room. I was trying to find a restaurant, a little local restaurant. And the thing I found out about Belize as well is they say a lot of things are open, but they be closed. So not only should you call them, but the thing is, a lot of them don't have WhatsApp. So you have to call and use like your international plan. Like I'm scared of my phone bill. I know my phone bill gonna be a little ugly just due to the fact I was making calls. Like I had to call places they don't have WhatsApp. Like that shit is inconvenient. And they'll say they're open and they're not. And that was terrible. So I settled on some street food. It was decent. It's supposed to be a burrito, but it was given a flop. It was given like a crepe. And I was just like, whatever. Food is food. Going to bed. Whatever. Now the next couple of days I spent in San Pedro were nice and cool. Again, I enjoyed it. Just kind of little island life. Didn't do too much. It was nice and cool. And then I took the ferry back to Belize City, and then for my last night, so I can just go to the airport from there. Now, before I ended up finding a guy that was super nice. His name was Valentine, and he gave me a ride from my hotel to the water taxi. He only charged me $15, like reasonable, like. And so I was like, I'm fucking with you. So from there, I had picked me up and go to the airport. No, I had already had an airport shuttle, but I have his information. So if you ever happen to go to Belize and have to go either right from the airport to like the water taxi, because you shouldn't be in Belize City at all, I'll put his number down so you can get in contact with him. He's super reasonable, he's super fair, and he'll try to get over on you. Like, yeah, he was telling me like gas is really expensive, but he's like, you know, we want tourism here and we don't want to price people out, because I'm telling you, them prices are just really like, they make you do the this face. Like, why are you charging me that much to go nowhere for real? You know what I mean? So, yeah. Now, the next couple of days, I didn't really do much of anything. I just kind of hung out, like I told you, by the water and chilled and just kind of ate and drank, and that was cool. My last night, I went back to the Fresh Prince house, right? And I'm laying down in the bed, and I see this man walk across, because it's like a little balcony. The man walks across the balcony and sits like right in front of my room. Y'all know my door don't close, and y'all know I don't have no curtains. And this man is just sitting up here. So I'm just like, I called a lady and I'm like, excuse me, why is this man up here? Like, you know my situation and what's going on with your establishment. Why the fuck is this man here? She's like, oh, I'm sorry, he's coming with his family. They're gonna be in that other room, but you're leaving tomorrow. But I'm still here tonight. She's like, okay, well, I'll come fix the thing, because she kept saying all week that the guy was gonna come fix it on Monday. He never came. Then she said he was in a car accident and all this other. I'm like, girl, fix these fucking curtains at least. That's the least you can do. If the door don't close, don't let it look like the door don't close. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, get me out of here. So she come and fix the shit. Just raggedy, like just raggedy. I hated it. A whole family ended up coming. It was hanging out on the balcony in front of my fucking room, looking in my room while I'm laying in the bed, watching TV on my YouTube, like on my laptop, watch TV on my laptop. It was just ghetto. I was ready to go. I was over it. Like, I don't want to be back in this dusty ass city, and I can't wait till I leave tomorrow. So I leave, go back to the airport, and I'm gonna give y'all this pro tip. As soon as you walk in, you'll see the line to go back through customs to go to the airport. Stop at a kiosk and get your ticket. They don't do digital tickets, because I waited in that motherfucking line for 30 minutes. It got to the front and the lady was like, oh, no, you have to go to the kiosk and get your printed ticket. What? Bitch. So I'm livid. So I go to the back, get a printed ticket, fill out another declaration, and I walk back to the front. I was like, bitch, fuck that. I walked to the front, excuse me, I was here already. Boom, did my shit, got through there, went through customs. Again, a super small airport, so it's not too, like, you're not walking all over the place. It's literally right there. Now, what's funny is what I brought in is what I took out. Well, my deodorant, because it was aerosol, a little baby can, because it was aerosol, they threw it away. But my wig spray is aerosol as well. Y'all ain't touch that, but I'm glad you didn't, because don't play with me. But yeah, they threw my deodorant away on the way out, but I'm like, I brought it in. I don't care for real. And then I just waited until my plane came, and it was delayed 3 times. Very ghetto. Again, it's one of those planes like the president, you gotta walk up the stairs to get on the plane, and yeah. But other than that, that wraps up my Belize trip. Now, I know I covered a lot and I explained a lot to you, but that was my experience in Belize. Again, I had an okay time. It wasn't one of my favorites. It wasn't as bad as Egypt, but it's down there. It's down in the valley where the hoes get naked. Like, I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, it really was one of them trips. Like, from everything that happened. It'd be crazy. Like when I tell y'all stuff always happened to me and I always end up in somebody's ghetto, whether I'm sliding through, whether I'm staying there, like you feel me? Like it's always a situation where I end up in the ghetto. And I'm done. I'm tired of that life. I dropped the mic. And yeah, if you want to visit Belize, I say go ahead and do so. But again, listen to me and listen to me well. Stay your ass out of Belize City. Just pass through that hole to get to an island. Go to either San Pedro or Cape Cocker. That's it. That's all. I ain't gonna say nothing else. But that's my wrap up of Belize. I hope you enjoyed. If you do plan on going to Belize, let me know. Or if you've been, let me know. If you have the same sentiments I have, drop them in the comments. Let me know how your experience went. Again, mine was interesting. One for the books, of course. But as always, I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.
Meditating.